Y News with Angelo Castro III, William Theo, and Darlene Basingan.
Good evening. Gun debates stirred in the United States after authorities recovered Las Vegas shooter's arsenal. Abby Valdez will tell us why.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police released the body cam footage showing the first response of the authorities in the brutal mass shooting at a concert in Nevada.
This way. Go. That way.
Police believe the crime was well planned as the Vegas shooter Stephen Craig Paddock had set up cameras inside and outside his hotel suite so he could see police as they closed in on his location. Meanwhile, a total of 47 firearms were recovered from 3 locations searched by investigators, according to Special Agent Jill Snyder.
These firearms were recovered from 3 different locations. Those locations consisted of the hotel room, as well as Verde and Mesquite, Nevada. They were purchased in Nevada, Utah, California, and Texas. The gunman purchased rifles, shotguns, and pistols. There were 12 bump fire stocks identified on the firearms in the hotel room.
Snyder said 12 of the guns found in the hotel room were fitted with so-called bump stock devices that allow guns to be fired virtually as automatic weapons. The devices are legal under U.S. law, even though fully automatic weapons are for the most part banned. The attack stirred the fractious debate about gun ownership in the United States, which is protected by the Second Amendment of the Constitution, and about how much that right should be subject to controls. Democrats reiterated what is generally the party's stance, that legislative action is needed to reduce mass shootings. Republicans, on the other hand, argue restrictions on lawful gun ownership cannot deter criminal behavior and is untimely.
We can break the grip of the NRA and other special interests. Let's face it, the reason we don't have gun safety measures in the United States today is because of the NRA, and we will defeat them. They are already losing their grip, and we can break their stranglehold on legislation by continuing this fight, and we will.
Look, the investigation's not even been completed, and I think it's premature to be discussing legislative solutions, if there are any.
Abby Valdez, UNTV News and Rescue, San Francisco, USA.
In an emotional interview with journalists gathered outside his home, Eric Paddock, the brother of the Las Vegas shooter Stephen Craig Paddock, appeared baffled as he fumbled for an explanation behind his brother's actions. Kat Canlas tells us why.
Eric Paddock, the Orlando-based brother of the Las Vegas shooter, attempted to shed light on the actions of a man he described as a good guy who looked out for his loved ones. He described his brother as a financially well-off enthusiast of video poker and cruises with no history of mental health issues.
I hope the hell they find, when they do the autopsy, that there's a tumor in his head or something. Because if they don't, we're all in trouble.
Federal, state, and local investigators have found no evidence that Paddock, 64, had even incidental contacts with foreign or domestic extremist groups, and reviews of his history show no underlying pattern of law-breaking or hate speech, a senior U.S. Homeland Security official said on Tuesday. Eric said the family did not plan to hold a funeral for his brother, who was not religious, saying it could attract unwanted attention. Investigators wanted to talk with Paddock's girlfriend and live-in companion, Mary Lou Danley, who the authorities considered again as a person of interest. Media reports said the gunman had recently wired $100,000 to the Philippines, but it was unclear whether it was intended for Danley. Eric says he wouldn't be surprised if the money was meant for Danley's use, but he just couldn't comprehend what pushed his brother to commit such crime.
The people he loved, he took care of, and as he was descending into hell, he wanted to try to take care of her. The fact that he took care of Mary Lou and then killed all these people, there's just no connection there for me. I don't understand how Steve got to that point.
Kat Canlas, UNTV News and Rescue, Las Vegas, USA.
Immigration officials confirm Marilu Danley has returned to the United States from the Philippines. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
The investigation into the motives of the gunman in the worst mass shooting in Las Vegas turned on Tuesday to Marilu Danley, the girlfriend of the retiree Stephen Craig Paddock, who killed 58 people and then himself in a shooting rampage in Las Vegas. Immigration officials confirm Danley has returned to the United States from the Philippines.
Based on the Bureau of Immigration travel records, Marilu Danley departed the country on October 3, 2017. She was on board flight PR-102, a Philippine Airlines flight bound for Los Angeles. Prior to her departure, she arrived in the country on the 25th of September. She came from Hong Kong. That was her last arrival prior to her departure yesterday.
Law enforcement authorities are hoping to obtain some answers from a woman identified as Paddock's live-in companion, Marilu Danley, who Clark County Sheriff said was a person of interest in the investigation. Authorities said Danley left the Philippines unescorted but was being met by the Federal Bureau of Investigation agents in Los Angeles.
Pagdating po sa travel nitong si Ms. Marilu Danley ay bahagi namin sa law enforcement na counterpart namin, which is the Homeland Security at saka FBI and US. So we have shared all of these relevant information sa kanila para makatulong sa kanilang investigation.
The U.S. authorities said Danley was not under arrest, but that the FBI hoped she would consent to be interviewed voluntarily. Investigators were examining a $100,000 wire transfer Paddock 64 sent to an account in the Philippines that appears to have been intended for Danley. Stephen Paddock, who killed himself moments before police stormed his hotel room, left no clear clues about why he staged his attack. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue.
The Philippine National Police has lifted the implementation of the nationwide gun ban, while the Commission on Elections also suspends its election preparations. Monokson will tell us why.
The Commission on Election has suspended all activities related to the barangay and SK elections. Since President Rodrigo Duterte signed into law the cancellation of the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, the Philippine National Police also lifted the implementation of the nationwide gun ban.
But automatically, since andyan na, nakita naman natin that there is already the postponement of the SK election, and we are always only conducting gun ban because of the election. And since postponing election, so no, literally no gun ban.
From October 1 up to October 4, the PNP arrested 53 persons who violated the gun ban and confiscated 47 firearms in different checkpoints in the country. The PNP said all arrested violators will be charged in court.
We will just manifest to the court na they were apprehended during the conduct of or the implementation of gun ban. So let the court decide.
PNP said although the gun ban is lifted, anti-criminality checkpoints will be sustained. All apprehended violators will be charged with illegal possession of firearms if they will fail to show supporting documents that they own the firearms in question. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
Meanwhile, the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption, or VACC, believes the drop boxes installed by the Interior Department in various villages across the country may be the latest but pose danger to the public. Rajel Adora tells us why.
The anti-corruption and anti-crime group Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption, or VACC, opposes DILG's drop box reporting system in various villages. In a statement, VACC spokesperson Boy Evangelista says the project is susceptible to abuse as anyone can drop the name of their enemies or individuals who are not involved in any illegal activity. The group argues the DILG should implement proper safeguards, or the Philippine National Police, or PNP, should just intensify its policing and coordination with the community. The concept allows residents to drop in the boxes any information they know about individuals they are certain of involvement in illegal drug activities. But local officials of Barangay Valencia in Quezon City see nothing wrong in the program. Through this, anyone can report information on who among their community are involved in illegal activities like peddling of illicit drugs.
Last year pa, we're one of the first. I'm very closely in touch with our PNP.
They argue that the program cannot be subject to abuse.
Yung sinasabi naman na nababalita na nagba-viral na sinasabi, pag may kagalit yan, ilalagay yung pangalan ng tao doon. Tapos, pwedeng mapatay, pwedeng matokhang. I mean, common sense naman. Ang PNP naman natin, or even ang ating barangay, hindi naman ganyan magtrabaho. Siyempre, may proseso, may investigasyon.
The DILG previously said that the information they would receive on the Dropbox would undergo verification process. However, the Commission on Human Rights is worried that the said program would violate the rights of some.
The police are going to further verify without knowing naman the source and without the victim also being able to confront that person, nawawalan din ng redress in terms of their rights.
Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The local government of Baloy, Lanao del Norte calls for help for the evacuees of Marawi City who are now staying in the province. Abby Santa Ines tells us why.
The evacuees from Marawi City who are now staying in Baloy, Lanao del Norte, particularly the home-based ones, are complaining to the local government. They complain of not receiving relief goods from the Department of Social Welfare and Development for almost a month now.
Nangutang kami ng kwan. Nautangan na, wala na.
The mother and child in the evacuation center are worrying about the welfare of their children who have no milk and diaper and other needs. Even the mayor of the city of Baloy, Mayor Elias Madid Ali, has already called on even the private sector to help them, since the local government has already used up their calamity fund to fund the needs of the evacuees.
Doon sa preparedness natin, sa calamity fund natin, doon tayo nakakuha. So yung preparedness, halos mag-zero na kami, mag-zero balance na. At pati nga kung minsan yung sweldo natin, nagagamit natin para sa kanila. Kasi lagi lang malapit, Mayor, wala nang gatas yung anak ko.
Mayor Ali also claims to have also used personal money to help the Marawi evacuees. Meanwhile, the DSWD admits having shortage of supplies from the central warehouse, but that the various partner agencies of DSWD have cooperated to address the needs and problems of the evacuees. Meanwhile, the National Incident Management Team, to be led by DSWD USEC Hope Hervilla, will hold a meeting tomorrow to discuss the needs and the solution to the problem being experienced by the evacuees, not just in Baloy, but also at other evacuation centers. Abby Santa Ines, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The operation of the military to capture the members of the mounted terror group has slowed down. Leia Ilagan tells us why.
The capturing of and clashing with the terrorists are not the only duties of the military in its ongoing operation in Marawi City. Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP Public Affairs Office Chief Colonel Edgar Arevalo says the military is also clearing off bombs in the areas they have regained control of in Marawi City.
Sa areas and structures and edifices na na-recover natin o nabawi natin buhat sa Makuti ISIS group, at pag-clear dito ng mga improvised explosive devices, yung mga booby traps, mga unexploded ordnance na kailangan nating ma-clear.
Government troops are also clearing bridges and roads. AFP said the clearing operations on the areas the military recovered from the terrorists are causing delays for the full reclamation of the city. Nevertheless, Arevalo says the military wants to ensure that the entire city is safe for their colleagues conducting rehabilitation in the area.
Kung may taong pupunta rito, relief worker man or construction and rehabilitation worker man, or lalong-lalo na ang mga civilian na citizen, ang mga mamamayan natin ay hindi mapapahamak because of this ordnance na kailangan munang natin i-clear.
The areas recovered by the military include the Grand and White Mosque that had been the stronghold of the multi-terror group for a long period, and had been used as a detention area of hostages. Government troops also regained control of the Bato Mosque, which the terrorists turned into an arsenal and bomb-making factory. The AFP says the Mountie terrorists assembled their improvised explosive device or IEDs at the said mosque. Meanwhile, the military has rescued 17 more hostages from the Mountie group. Of the rescued, 9 are males, 8 are females, aged 18 to 75 years old. Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue, Camp Aguinaldo.
China is set to donate tomorrow firearms and ammunition to the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP. AFP Public Affairs Office Chief Colonel Edgard Arevalo says the said donations include 3,000 units of M14 rifles, 3 million rounds of various types of ammunition, and 30 sniper scopes worth $22 million. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana and AFP Chief of Staff Eduardo Año will receive the donations, which will be turned over by Chinese Ambassador to the Philippines, Zhao Jinhao.
Well, definitely makakatulong ito na malaki sa ating ginagawang operation because ito ay makakatulong sa ating firepower, hindi lamang of course sa Marawi but in other areas of the country where undergoing ating ginagawang combat operations.
MRT3's maintenance provider Busan Universal Rails Incorporated, or BURI, denies using fake spare parts for the trains of Metro Rail Transit, or MRT3. However, the Department of Transportation says it has evidence that would prove BURI's violation. Here's why from Joan Nano.
Officials of the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, and representatives of the Metro Rail Transit, or MRT3's maintenance provider, the Busan Universal Rails Incorporated, or BURI, appeared before the hearing today of the House Committee on Good Governance and Public Accountability. Issue discussed in the said hearing was BURI's alleged use of fake spare parts for the trains of MRT. The alleged equipment is the two-purchase Vehicle Logic Unit, or VLU, that control the speed of the trains. BURI insists the spare parts they bought are not fake, but that they returned it to its supplier since the company has not issued a receipt and necessary documents.
There was no consummated transaction between BURI and Diamond Pearl with respect to the two VLUs. There is no factual basis for the allegation that the two VLUs were installed on any LRV of the MRT3 system. Hindi po na-install. Pinull out na po ng supplier, matagal na po.
However, the DOTR insists on its allegation and says the questionable VLUs were delivered and installed in the train system. Based on the documents presented by the DOTR, the first VLU was delivered on the 6th of October of 2016 and was installed in Car 63 on the 12th of November of the same year. The second spare part was delivered on November 24, 2016 and was installed in Car 6 on the 8th of April of this year.
Nakalagay ho dyan, Diamond Pearl, at yung mga particulars ho ng ating ng unit. So nandun ho yung mga signature part ng ating dokumento. Yung pangalawa po na VLU, ganun din po, Diamond Pearl. Sometime in November 24, 2016 po yung ating mga delivery. Ganun din po, meron ho tayong mga documentation showing ho yung ating delivery. At ang kasunod po nito, yung installation record naman po. We will see, dokumento po ng BURI ho yan. So galing po sa kanilang record yung mga nagpapatunay na talagang na-install po yung ating VLU.
BURI, on the other hand, responded that the VLUs referred to by the DOTR are the old ones and not the new parts being questioned.
Ibang VLU po ito and installed on April 5, 2017. Kasi po meron diyang serial numbers. With respect to the VLU installed on Car 63, hindi yan yung supplied by Diamond Pearl.
The discussion focused first on the purchase of BURI of spare parts from an unauthorized supplier instead from the company Bombardier, the firm in the contract of the MRT. The DOTR stands firm of not paying the said spare parts as the transaction by BURI violated the MRT contract. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board has approved the implementation of taxi fare hike. Joan Nano is back to tell us why.
After almost 8 years, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board has approved the petition of several taxi groups to implement fare increase. Based on the copy of the decision released by the LTFRB, it states that 40 pesos flag down rate will remain for the first 500-meter travel, while charges for the succeeding kilometer will increase by 13 pesos and 50 centavos from the old fare structure of 3 pesos and 50 centavos in every 300 succeeding meter. Meanwhile, the previous 3 pesos and 50 centavos charged for a 2-minute waiting time on taxi will now become 2 pesos per minute.
There have been concerns on the part of the taxi operator na bumababa yung mga income nila. And because of that, yung mga taxi units nila are underutilized kasi wala masyado silang mga driver na gustong magmaneho sa kanilang mga taxi unit.
With this fare increase, LTFRB says taxi operators will have the chance to improve their units as well as their services. LTFRB plans to publish their decision on newspaper tomorrow prior to the effectivity of the said fare adjustment. Drivers and operators still have to recalibrate and reseal their taxi meters.
With this decision, lahat ng mga taxi after this decision has been published, they will go to their respective accredited yung sa taxi meters to be recalibrated, and then after that, i-reseal.
Some passengers have mixed reactions over the new fare structure.
Hindi naman, kasi kung ano yung layo, ganun din nasusukat kasi kaysa sa i-kontrata mo na lang. Kaya ngayon, mga 300 plus, ganun, something. Minsan, 700 kung sobrang taas o sobrang malayo na.
Okay lang kasi tumataas yung gasoline naman di ba? Saka can afford naman. Saka walang hassle. Pag sakay mo talagang kung saan ka pupunta doon ka ibababa.
On the other hand, LTFRB chairman warns taxi drivers who will take advantage despite the fare hike.
We would just like to appeal to them na tigilan na nila yan. No? For 2 reasons. No? We're giving you the opportunity to earn more with the fare hike. But at the same time, kahit nawala yan po, public service po ito yung ginagawa natin.
Shoanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Makati City.
Next on Y News. President Rodrigo Duterte warns of filing an impeachment complaint against Ombudsman Conchita Carpio-Morales.
The Commission on Appointments confirms retired General Roy Simatu as the new Environment Chief.
And DOJ Justice boosters the face-off with the Malacanang PSC Kamao on October 8 in the UNTV Cup Season 6 eliminations.
Y News will be right back. President Rodrigo Duterte said he wants Ombudsman Conchita Carpio-Morales impeached. Here's why from Rosalie Cos.
President Rodrigo Duterte once again warned of removing Ombudsman Conchita Carpio-Morales. The chief executive claims Morales is conniving with those who provide fabricated documents against him.
I-impeach talaga kita. Ang kita mo yung mga kaso ng dilaw, she berates people for a delay of justice, and yet the Ombudsman is the number one who's doing the selective justice.
The president adds that Senator Antonio Trillanes has acquired the documents on his bank records illegally through the former AMLAC Executive Director Julia Abad.
So saan mo kinuha? Because the only source is AMLAC. At lumabas doon nagpindot pagbukas ng account ko, binigay kay Trillanes si Abad, who is the mistress of Trillanes. Mistress yan siya ni Trillanes, yung Abad na yan. Then gave it to Trillanes. Trillanes computed it on a daily basis. In, out, in, out, in, out. Yung credit, yung debit, wala na. Kaya ganun lumaki. Kaya ako natatawa.
Aside from this, the chief executive said he will also use as evidence against Morales the cases which are long overdue and not acted upon by the Ombudsman. He also challenged Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno and Morales to go to the Congress and reveal their respective bank records. He also describes Chief Justice Sereno as luxurious.
Magbili ka ng luxury. Bakit magbili ng luxury Land Cruiser? Luxury na yan. Hindi mo pera yan. Pera ng bayan yan. Hindi kung bumili ka lang ng 700, 800 yan plus accessory. Ikaw, ang problema mo kasi, Sereno, is you are the one who define yourself and the things that you want in this life. Yung simple lang sa iyo, pinadugo mo yung gobyerno sa attorney's fees mo. Tapos you define a luxury car as I live simply. Pag nandoon ka sa abroad, you stay in suites. Bakit hindi ka makakwarto ng isang kwarto? Huwag mo ikumpara ng akin, kaya ang akin, it's prepared by the host country whenever I go.
President Duterte claimed the leftist and the members of the opposition are now in alliance to oust him from his position. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Solicitor General Jose Calida maintains that the documents Senator Antonio Trillanes IV and the Office of the Ombudsman hold in possession against President Rodrigo Duterte are falsified. Here's why from Ray Pelayo.
The Solicitor General maintained that the documents of alleged bank transactions of President Rodrigo Duterte obtained by Senator Antonio Trillanes and the Office of the Ombudsman were not from the Anti-Money Laundering Council. Therefore, such documents are fake. This after the Anti-Money Laundering Council disowned the said documents.
I cannot understand the goal of this karangdang foisting on the public fake documents because the AMLAC disowned the documents.
Calida accused overall Deputy Ombudsman Arthur Carandang of political harassment. The Solgen also mentioned about a former official of the Office of the Ombudsman and a former election candidate as the ones helping Carandang. Calida is also planning the cases to be filed against those involved in spreading the wrong information. He also insists that the President has the power over the deputies of Ombudsman.
Because the President is the Chief Executive of the Republic of the Philippines. And he has control and supervision over those whom he has appointed.
Calida also notes that Ombudsman Conchita Carpio-Morales is liable for condoning her deputies' fraudulent actuations.
As head of the agency, she cannot wash her hands off like Pontius Pilate.
The Solgen also challenges Senator Antonio Trillanes.
Marami na ngayong bagong hotel. Maybe he can bring his Magdalo cohorts, capture a hotel, and we will see how brave he is.
Ray Pelayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Makati City.
Meanwhile, the definition of fake news and the promotion of information literacy were discussed in the opening of the Senate's inquiry on the proliferation of false reports on social media. Rosa Licoz will tell us why.
The Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media began its inquiry on the proliferation of fake news on social media sites. This came following the blog post of a group called Silent No More that recently expressed condemnation against 7 senators who did not sign the Senate Resolution number 516, which urges the government to stop the violence and killings, especially of minors. Several social media bloggers also attended the hearing, including the controversial Presidential Communications Operations Office Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson, who claimed to have been victimized as well by misinformation. However, some senators reprimanded Uson for posting what they described as questionable information on her personal Facebook page that has millions of followers.
My question is, it's a very simple question. Sa mga panahon na nag-blog si Asik Mocha, tungkol sa minority, tungkol sa oposisyon, tungkol sa aming lahat dito, very simple question, yes or no lang po, hiningan ba niya kami ng side?
Uson, on the other hand, argues she is not a journalist but a blogger.
Una-una po sir, karapatan po ng blogger yon sa kanyang opinion, Madam Chair, kung gusto po niyang hingin niyang side ng isang tao, opinion-based po ang vlogging. Unlike po sa mainstream media, meron po silang obligasyon po bago nila i-report po yung fake news na ginawa po nila.
Several senators remind bloggers working with the government to be responsible for expressing their opinions on social media, especially since they have many followers. The Senate committee also seeks to hear the side of the personality behind the blog Silent No More Philippines, identified as Kokoy Dayaw, who did not appear in the hearing. Dayaw was allegedly part of the communications office of the previous administration. Some professional journalists are seeking to hold liable even the officials of the government involved in proliferating misinformation and lies.
Ang nakikita kong problema ay ang mga opisyal ng pamahalaan na siyang nagsasabog ng kasinungalingan. Yun. A number of government officials, politicians, and other public figures tend to play fast and loose with the facts, in the process misleading the public.
For former Solicitor General Florian Hilbay, the netizens are not the ones at fault for the spread of fake news, but the dishonest government officials.
What I consider a threat to our democratic values and a danger to the marketplace of ideas is the prevalence of false information provided by public officials, whether deliberately or out of sheer incompetence. False information provided by public officials poses special problems.
Senator Antonio Trillanes and Uson also faced off during the said hearing. The two previously had a heated exchange due to the issue on the alleged offshore account of Trillanes.
Ang gwapo niyo pala, Senator, sa personal. Hindi po fake news yan, sir.
Actually, wala na sana akong planong umattend dito kaso na-miss daw ako ni Miss Mocha. Konti na lang.
Mukhang tapos na ang hearing natin.
At baka i-atras ko yung kaso ko. Konti na lang bola.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
The most powerful commission on appointments has confirmed the appointment of retired General Roy Cimatu as the new Environment Chief. Nel Maribohok tells us why.
Of the overwhelming yes votes of the members of this commission confirming and affirming that interim appointment of our 16th DNR Secretary.
After 3 hearings, the Commission on Appointments or CA confirmed the appointment of Roy Cimatu as the new Secretary of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR. Majority of the CA members approve of the appointment of Cimatu. Before the confirmation, Occidental Mindoro Representative Josephine Ramirez Sato questioned the ability of the retired general to lead the DNR. The lawmaker argues this is since the former general has no experience in terms of taking care of the environment.
What is the future policy directions of mining industry during your watch?
There are about 27, 14 applied for motion for reconsideration, and 13 went to the office of the president for appeal. We expect to finish this, Your Honor, towards the end of the year.
The new DNR chief thanked those who entrusted him with the leadership of the Environment Department.
It is high time that every Filipino, regardless of status in life, should have equal access to the benefits of clean environment and sustainable natural resources.
Malacanang is confident that Cimatu can properly perform the marching orders of President Rodrigo Duterte regarding the administration's policy on the environment. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
In other news, the House Committee on Justice will begin tomorrow the scrutiny of each allegation stated in the impeachment complaint filed against Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. Here's why from Grace Casing.
The House Committee on Justice will resume tomorrow the hearing on the impeachment complaint filed against Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. In the said hearing, the lawmakers will determine if the complaint has sufficient grounds and if the accusations are impeachable offense. They will also thoroughly review the response of SC's top magistrate to the allegations against her. According to House Committee on Justice Chairman Reynaldo Umali, the respondents and complainants are not invited in the hearing tomorrow. Only the members of the committee will be present in the House inquiry to discuss and vote on whether the complaint has sufficient grounds or not.
as a committee, have to weigh whether that particular allegation plus the answer will still weigh in and could constitute as a ground for impeachment.
Earlier today, the camp of Chief Justice Sereno submitted another letter to the House Committee to insist on her right to be represented by her lawyers. This has been her response to the pronouncement of Umali that Chief Justice herself should be the one to cross-examine the witness the complainant will present.
The impeachment rules of the 17th Congress do not prohibit the CJ's lawyers from speaking or conducting cross-examination. Why not? Because to do so would violate the constitutional right to counsel and to be heard through counsel.
Umali, on the other hand, notes the members of the House Committee will discuss and vote on the request of Judiciary Staff Magistrate. Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
An employee of the Bureau of Customs has testified against some intelligence officials of the agency in the Senate hearing today. Nel Maribuhok explains why.
May Escoto, a staff from Customs Intelligence and Investigation Service of the Bureau of Customs, faced the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing this afternoon. During the hearing, she confirmed that former CIIS Director Neil Estrella and Joel Pinawin received tara or grease money from Mark Taguba. Escoto said Taguba handed her 2 envelopes which she then gave to Pinawin.
Tinext ko naman po siya na hawak ko na po yung pinapakuha niya.
Paki-describe mo nga yung sinabi mong kinuha mo kay Mark Taguba. Anong itsura nung kinuha mo sa kanya?
Naka-envelope po eh.
Gaano kalaki envelope yun?
Yung brown envelope.
Ilang envelope sila?
2 po.
2.
Pinawin and Estrella refuted the allegations.
Maliwanag po yung motibo rito, sir. Ano po ba ang motibo rito? Nag-conspiracy po itong si May, si Mark Taguba at si Tisoy para sirain ako. Bakit po ba ako sinisira rito? Eh ako po yung nakahuli kina Mark Taguba doon sa siya po pinarating nila eh.
Sir, I categorically deny that I received any money or envelope from Mr. Mark Taguba. You know that.
Meanwhile, BOC Commissioner Isidro La Peña discovered an apparent source of the welcome gift. He received information from unnamed BOC personnel that the 100 million pesos welcome gift usually comes from tax credit certificate issued by the agency.
The information says that the pag-process niyan, that amounts to 100,000, especially sa mga big companies, mga oil, mga ganyan, mga and then a certain percentage goes to the pasalubong. Maybe part of it also will go to those who are processing it.
The tax credit certificate is a form of tax refund of big companies from possible excesses paid for tariff and duties or cancelled imports.
Kaya ang problema yan, when there is delay, then there is may pera na ma-involve yan. That's what my trust now to address yung mga delays yan sa Bureau.
According to the father of Mark, Ruben Taguba, a former BOC employee, almost all of former officials of the agency received tara.
La-lifestyle check natin lahat yung mga Customs Commissioner nung araw. Tatamaan niya.
Nako, laglag lahat yun. Sigurado ko.
The Senate will continue its investigation on tara system next week, and the committee is hoping that former Customs Chief Nicanor Faldon will finally attend the inquiry. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
UST Law Dean and other university officials will be included as respondents in the hazing case of Horacio Acho Castillo III. Rodrigo Mendoza will tell us why.
The Department of Justice today started the preliminary investigation on the death of Horacio Acho Castillo III in an alleged hazing incident. Primary suspect John Paul Solano appeared at the hearing with his witnesses to submit his counter affidavit, but this was deferred after the Manila Police and the lawyer of Castillo family requested to be allowed to submit additional evidence. According to the MPD, they already asked the telcos to provide records of the calls and text messages in the phones which were recovered from the Library of Aegis Juris Fraternity. The lawyer of Castillo family will also submit transcript of the Senate hearing.
Based on the Senate investigation and the statements of the senators themselves, gleaned from the statement made by Dean Divina, Nilo Divina, it would seem, quoting the senators, that there is an apparent cover-up.
Divina and other UST officials will be included as respondents in the complaints. Kapunan explains, aside from the persons who directly participated in the hazing, school officials are also liable under the anti-hazing law. She says Divina apparently knew about the incident before Atio's family learned about it.
At the time when the China's General Hospital did not know of the identity of Horacio, at the time that the funeraria also did not know, the question mark is how come the dean knew when he heard Mass on Sunday and yet did not do anything.
Divina says it's unfortunate the Castillo family is being manipulated by Kapunan. Instead of finding out the truth and giving justice for Atio, she is blaming innocent persons for her own interest. Meanwhile, Solano's lawyer asked the DOJ panel to strike out his judicial affidavit from the records.
It is fabricated, forged. He did not appear before Captain Anisete of the MPD to subscribe under oath.
DOJ will resume the preliminary investigation next Monday. The respondents will submit their counter-affidavits on October 24. Rodrigo Mendoza, UNTV, News and Rescue, Manila.
An adamant DOJ Justice Boosters is ready to face its next opponent on the UNTV Cup hard court. Here's why from Bernard Dadis.
Looks like he has a spread basketball
time. Christian Luanzon all the way to the cup basket.
Ang DOJ ngayon, talagang gusto namin manalo talaga ngayon for this season. Gusto namin pakita na ang DOJ ngayon is solid talaga kami.
Now with one game won and no game lost, the DOJ Justice Boosters is determined to go all the way to the season finals through their teamwork and solidarity. The Boosters will not be abated as they face off with Season 5 runner-up Team Malacanang PSC Camao. On the other hand, the Camao, also with a 1-0 win-loss record, gears itself up ahead of the battle against the DOJ.
Kailangan ko pa makondisyon yung players ko. Ang pinanghawakan ko lang yung tiwala at kilala nila yung bawat isa. Pero siguro once na magsama na yan, yung chemistry, pati yung physical condition nitong team na to, siguro ay na yung the old Malacanang Camao.
Sa run and gun rin kami, mahilig rin kami sa mga fast break. Compare last year, may mga dinagdag lang talaga kami mga places, yung mga plays sa defense.
The team to win will elevate on the win-loss table alongside the PNP responders with 2-0. Watch out for the Justice Boosters Camao battle in the first game on Sunday, October 8, live at the Pasig City Sports Center with live streaming via UNTVweb.com. Bernard Dadis, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
Coming up on Y News. The United States orders expulsion of 15 Cuban diplomats over mysterious attacks and failure to protect American personnel in Havana.
Scooter fire in western Paris triggers an explosion scare in Jordanian embassy.
And jugglers of all levels celebrate the annual juggling festival in Turkey.
More from Y News after this break.
Those are the reasons behind the news, October 4, 2017. I'm Angelo Castro III.
Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am William Theo.
And I'm Darlene Basingan. Because we need to know,
we will always ask why. Thank you for watching
Y News.